In the ancient city of Hierapolis, nestled in the heart of Phrygia, was born a remarkable philosopher named Epictetus. Although his beginnings were humbly as a slave in a world dominated by the fate, his wisdom would resonate through all the times. The journey of Epictetus not. He was limited by his origins, and change was a search for something greater, the path to happiness and that tranquility. As Epictetus matured, he felt attracted by the teachings of the Stoicism, a philosophy that would shape his life and would guide his aspirations. The Stoic principles resonated with this spirit, lighting a fire to transcend their circumstances and carve their destiny through dedication and perseverance. Gained not only their release of the physical chains, but a deep inner freedom that few they could understand. Under the guidance of his devoted discipline, the wisdom of Epictetus is returned immortal. If this is the first time that you come to my YouTube channel, I invite you to like the video and subscribe to enjoy all of my content on the future. Exiled from his native land, he found solace in the serene city of Nicopolis. Went there in his corner, cleared from the world, where he laid the foundation of his teachings. That philosophy, as noted, was an abstraction, but in lived experience, the philosophy of Epictetus was an art of living centered on three pillars that lit the way towards true happiness. The first, a fundamental belief, was that freedom was the gateway to the happiness. For him did not reside in the fulfillment of desires, but in their release from his clutches. Proclaimed that wealth was not measured in possessions, but in the simplicity of the desires. That the teachings of Epictetus urge his followers to give up the frenzy of detachment, recognizing that the more one longing for more was moving away from the momentaries and freedom. For Epictetus, no, it was only politics, but also the mastery of the inner world. Understood that true autonomy, as noted, was based on the ability to control external events, but in governing own reactions and emotions. In the great tapestry of existence, some threads were beyond our weaving. These external events should not be fought, but embraced with equanimity. The heart of philosophy of Epictetus was beating in harmony with the Stoic principle of control. Distinguish what was within our power and what was beyond was in the domain of our inner world, where lay theta liberation. Thus Epictetus' path to the happiness meant achieving mastery about oneself by freeing the mind from tumult of unattainable desires and attachments, excessive over time. The teachings of Epictetus resounded in the hearts of coming generations. The second principle is the liberation of the concerns were an echo that resonated in the minds of those who they were looking for inner peace. Epictetus knew that true happiness could not exist in the bondage of anxiety and fear. For Epictetus, the art of getting rid of worries, no, it was to avoid problems, but to evaluating how we deal with them. He recognized that much of the suffering human did not originate from the events annies, but in our interpretations on judgments about them. Through reflective exercises and self-discipline, he urged his disciples to question their excessive reactions and to find an introspection. The way to harmonious words of Epictetus transmitted by the pages written by Aurelius. They crossed the centuries to reach the modern consciousness is the third and most powerful. The premise of acceptance without resistance was speaking to those who were looking for understanding the balance in the middle of ours. Epictetus understood that fighting against the uncontrollable circumstances were an inexhaustible source of suffering. Before continuing, remember that you also can follow me on my TikTok account. Daily I'm with YouTube instead of resisting what he couldn't change, advocated embracing reality, as it was the Stoic philosophy held that the real strength was in adaptability, in the art of flowing with the stream of life, instead of colliding against the rocks of stubborn desire. Unconditionally accept the circumstances. According to Epictetus, was an act of wisdom, and power was not about of passive resignation, but of conscious empowerment. Was that the ability to stop fighting, immutable, and begin to shape our actions to what could change them. The story of Epictetus became our beacon for those who sought serenity and the fullness in the midst of the whirlwind of life through the centuries. His wisdom continued to inspire the soul-anxious to look beyond the limitations imposed by the world outside and find freedom interior. A third of the principles, the things that Epictetus shared with the world, was the idea that the unconditional acceptance was the way towards inner peace. He believed that much of the suffering problem stemmed from our resistance to what it is instead of resisting and fighting against the circumstances. He urged use accept them as they were the only way towards happiness. I used to say is to lead off agonizing over what escapes our control, and well, Epictetus understood that the concerns, imaginaries, and expectations sinful were the sources of our internal suffering. Instead of encouraged to face reality with a calm and open mind through practical exercises, such as reflecting about our overreactions to the. At the end of the day, Epictetus showed us how to free us from worry as necessary when identifying the areas and the ones that our mind was resisting the acceptance we could adjust our attitude for the next day. This constant practice cultivated a mentality of adaptability and acceptance. Epictetus did not promote resignation passive, but an active attitude of embracing life as it came. He understood that the circumstance, the external, did not define our peace. Through his inner teaching, I remember that our real strength lay in our ability to keep us calm and balanced, facing the challenges by embracing every moment with a mind open and a heart at peace. Epictetus was invited to experience life in his fullness. His message endures throughout centuries as a beacon of wisdom, guiding us through the ups and downs of existence in a world in constant change. His teaching reminds us that the unconditional acceptance is the way towards true happiness and inner serenity. Epictetus' 3 principles to achieve happiness were erected as pillars of eternal wisdom, guiding generations towards self-reflection, tranquility, and acceptance. The legacy of Epictetus transcended time and space, weaving a narrative of personal transformation that resonated in the hearts of those who longed living with meaning and authenticity. Through his teachings, he became a fellow traveler in the search, constant reminder of happiness, that true freedom lies in the mastery of our minds and in the choosing to embrace every moment with calm and acceptance. The story of Epictetus became a beacon for those who seek serenity and fullness in the midst of the whirlwind of the life. Through the centuries, his wisdom, he continued to inspire restless souls to look beyond the limitations imposed by the outside world and finding inner freedom. The 3 principles of Epictetus to achieve the happiness were erected as pillars of eternal wisdom, guiding generations towards self-reflection. The tranquility and the acceptance of his legacy transcended the time and space, weaving a narrative of personal transformation that it resonated in the hearts of those who longed to live with meaning and authenticity. Through his teachings, he became a fellow traveler in constant search for happiness, reminding us that true freedom lies in the domain of our minds and in the choice to embrace every moment with calm and acceptance. If you liked this video, I ask you to give a like and you subscribe so I can create more content in the future to help you improve your life. Thank you for watching.